In order for us to write an equation for each table, we have to look for what sort of pattern is happening in each table. So we'll look at this first table here on the left. And if I look at the y values in the table, we can see that they're decreasing. If we look at the x values are increasing. They're not increasing at the same rate. We have a change in x here of 2, another change in x of 2, then we see a change in x of 1, and a change in x of 2. So we have to look at the corresponding change in y. And so if we look at the y side, we can see that the change from 24 to 14 is minus 10. And then from 14 to 4 is another minus 10. From 4 to negative 1 is a minus 5. And from negative 1 to negative 11, it's another minus 10. So from the looks of it, this pattern is linear because we do have a constant rate of change. Every time x increases by 2, we're seeing y decrease by 10. And when x only increases by 1, y decreases by half that amount, or decreases by 5. If we were to calculate the change in y over the change in x, we would either do negative 10 divided by 2, or we would do negative 5 divided by 1. And negative 10 divided by 2 and negative 5 divided by 1, those are both equal to negative 5. So that's our slope for that first table. And then the y-intercept is actually given right in the table. Remember, the y-intercept is the y value when x is equal to 0. So we have our slope and our y-intercept. So we can write an equation, y equals negative 5x plus 24. Let's look at that second table. In this table, we see x increasing by 2 again, then by 1, and then by 1 again. If we look at the corresponding change in y, we see this time an increase of 6, another increase of 6, an increase of 3, and another increase of 3. Once again, we can see that this table is linear because there is a constant rate of change. When x increases by 2, y increases by 6, and when x only increases by 1, y increases by half of 6, or increases by 3. So we can do, once again, change in y divided by change in x to calculate our slope. We can do 6 divided by 2, or we can do 3 divided by 1, and they are equal. 6 divided by 2 is the same thing as 3 divided by 1, which is just equal to 3. So we have a slope of 3. Now if we look in this table, we don't have an x value of 0 listed in the table. So we'll have to actually work backwards to get to an x value of 0. If we work backwards by 1s, we would go backwards from 3, 2, to 1, to 0. And again, we have to get back to an x value of 0 to find the y-intercept. Our slope here of 3 tells us that when x increases by 1, y increases by 3. So if we're going to work backwards, when x is decreasing by 1, y is going to decrease by 3. So we'll do 11 minus 3, and that's equal to 8. 8 minus 3, that's equal to 5. And 5 minus 3, that's equal to 2. So when x is equal to 0, the y value is 2. That's our y-intercept, making our equation for this table y equals 3x plus 2.